Welcome to Forever Exiled, the Path of Exile podcast. I am Justin, aka Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days. Roll your ball.
It's like I thought it was more like hockey.
Oh, yeah,
sounded,
okay.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
way
like,
cooler. And number 36.
You just need the dun, 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 dun. Yeah. This is episode 56. Pretty sweet.
It is. I remember what a rep digit is from last week.
Yeah, you found out about it at the end of After Dark.
I did. I found out what a rep digit is for episode 55. A rep digit is when you have a number that repeats the same number. So
You did explain what it was. You just couldn't figure out why you cared.
1,111. Yeah. So anyway, last episode was a rep digit episode, but it's not this.
Doesn't matter anymore. Yeah.
No,
why are we bringing it up?
No. Okay.
Old news, Ty. Old news.
Walking away like Charlie Brown.
Let's do a quick shout out to the new patrons this week. We've got, is it Giholo or Golo?
I say Giholo.
All right. Giholo, Golo, or Giholo?
I think it's Golo. But I say Giholo.
All right. We got Golo, Donnie B, Theta 40, and Big D Ryan Canucks 82. All four of them joining the Patreon this week. So a big shout out to you guys and to everybody else who's supporting our Patreon. If you're curious what it is, you've got a link down below. You can find it on our website as well. It basically gives you access to our After the podcast called After Dark. That's a lot of afters. Anyway, that's our podcast where we talk more PoE, more real life, more just whatever, maybe some grass.
Probably some grass.
It's just our After the podcast. So big shout out to everybody who has been supporting and everybody else who's listening as well. You guys are all awesome.
Thank you very much.
We were talking about it this week about how cool it is that we're both still having fun making a podcast and that there's a lot of people who enjoy listening and hanging out. And if you don't have our Discord information, make sure you hop on there because there's some pretty cool people in there.
Very. We were talking earlier a couple days ago just about how much fun we're having no matter how many people are listening. We were saying that we were going to have a blast even if only 20 people cared about us. And I don't know, it's just been really encouraging seeing all the support and everybody that enjoys it. And so just a big thank you to everybody.
You guys are really cool. So thank you for listening and hanging out in Discord and private league playing. We'll talk more about that later.
Oh yeah.
So much fun. How was your week?
I had a good week. I enjoyed it.
That's good.
Yeah, it was nice. It was exciting kind of planning for the private league that we'll discuss in a bit. Got to play a tiny bit of it today and completely forego chores. I told my wife who had the day off today, I'm like, today's the day for these kind of chores, front yard and stuff. And I'm like, nope, not going to happen.
I can't go into the podcast embarrassed.
That's right. I can't even start the podcast without having a threshold for the prizes. But no, it was good. I went and dropped off some of the Patreon cards this week at your place. And I got to say, I was pretty disappointed in your lawn.
Shut your mouth.
I saw about 7 leaves on your lawn.
I haven't had time to vacuum my lawn. It's also a little wet.
You can't vacuum when it's wet? What's wrong? You have like nothing that's capable for normal weather. Will you
it
just
needs to be dry.
Walk on it and slowly pick it up and throw it on the sidewalk? Okay, so I also noticed, nice comeback, that there was an errant strawberry on your lawn. Do you just naturally grow strawberries in the middle of your lawn?
So we have grown strawberries in the back, but we're definitely not right now. It's not the weather for it.
No.
My stupid family keeps feeding this idiot bunny.
Oh,
awesome. I'm not
awesome.
kidding. One day I came back this week late at night and it was sitting like maybe 6 feet away from our front door on my grass, just waiting at the door. And I walked past. I was like, you little turd, like you're literally waiting here to be fed. And I walked into my house and I was talking to my wife and my oldest. I'm like, you got to stop feeding that stupid bunny. And she's like, oh, is it out there? Is it out there? Like, oh my God. I'm pretty sure that's where the strawberry came from. We're feeding it things it doesn't even want. Like that's how spoiled this bunny is. It's like, oh, strawberry. F that. Give me something else.
You're going to come back from whatever appointment and you're going to see the bunny laying on its back in a chair with a half open granola bar and like a drink with a straw coming out of it.
If it comes like 3 more feet closer to the front door, I will kick it. I will boot it.
Yeah, because Because you'll be able to catch a bunny, right? Maybe on your one wheel, you can
just
chase it
sits
around.
there like a little dick.
Don't forget your helmet.
It taunts me.
It does. But you're not the boss. The rest of your family's the boss, or it'd be gone. That strawberry's still on your lawn.
It probably is still on the lawn, wrecking my lawn.
I don't have any fancy stories for this week, though. It just blew by. I felt like we did the podcast just yesterday. So didn't have anything specific. Anyway, for me, how about you? How was your week?
I had a crazy week. This has been one of the busiest weeks I've had. I can't think of in a really, really long time, just with work. And it's kind of a weird time right now because everybody's trying to figure out what's going to happen with COVID. And we're kind of anticipating that there's going to be another bigger lockdown. So how do we prep for that? And we're trying to give all of our staff 2 weeks off before Christmas so that they can isolate and actually get time to spend with their family. But okay, so let me go through my week because I actually did have some stuff that happened this week.
Okay.
The day after our last recording, I'm going to blame my wife, but I did buy a PS5. She actually was the one who was like, hey, they have them on Craigslist. And I was like, yeah, but they're probably like way too expensive. So,
there's no way you said something like that.
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a limit. There's a limit for sure. And so I didn't need it. So anyway, I think she messaged or I messaged a couple people, and this one guy, I think on the Saturday, I messaged him and I'm like, hey, look, you've got it for this price. I'll meet you if you want to sell it right now for cash. What do you say? And he's like, yeah, sure. He lives a little bit further away. So we met in the middle, and I met up with him Saturday night, and I paid about a little bit over 1.5 times retail for the PS5.
Yep.
I will say though, the guy was he was pretty cool. First off, did you know the Source is still a thing?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That used to be called Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Remember?
Well,
Radio Shack?
I knew that the Source was like, it used to be a place, but I didn't think it still existed. He said that he managed to get lucky with a pre-order for it and through the Source, because he sent me the invoice or the bill or whatever. And I kind of laughed. I was like, I didn't even know the Source still existed. But anyway, he was telling me that he and a buddy pre-ordered an Xbox and a PlayStation, and then decided that they were going to give it to their kids, but their kids are like 5 and 6.
Yeah.
And so they decided they were going to get a Switch instead, and he was going to return it. And the buddy was like, well, let's just sell them. And the extra money that they got, they were putting towards a charity that their work was putting on. Now, he could be totally lying to me, but I was like, hey, he's like, I don't want you to think I'm being sleazy. I'm like, dude, if you can sell something for more than what it's worth, how could you be? That's not sleazy.
Yeah.
Like, I saw a lot of people freaking out on people for selling the PlayStations for way higher than retail. But if someone's going to buy it, that's not a dick move.
No, it's called on demand. Wait.
It seems so weird to me.
Such a first world problem, hey?
Yeah, right.
I have to wait for my Sony PlayStation for months.
The thing that cracked me up is, so Canadian wise, the digital version was $4.99. Once you count in like tax and all the other stuff, you're at like $600. And I saw people selling them for, I can't remember what it was. I want to say that it was like a bidding thing on Facebook or something, and people were up to like $700 or $800, and people were freaking out about it. And I was like, that's barely anything over what retail is after you pay taxes. Like, I'm not paying some individual tax.
Yeah. What is it? 700? The PlayStation's $699 retail here, Canadian?
$4.99. $4.99 for the digital.
Oh, for the yeah.
And then for some reason it's $130 to add the disc.
Right.
Discs are like $40. So I'm not really sure where that they're like $20. Anyway, I did pick up the PS5, and then I got Demon Souls. And then I also talked to I talked to Camille. I was like, look what I got. It was actually really funny because he was telling me that in New Zealand, he was like, oh, that really sucks. I can't get one until probably the first quarter of 2021 because they're not expecting many shipments in New Zealand. And he said that right now they're selling in New Zealand for triple retail price. So he's like, I can't justify that, which I wouldn't either. I wouldn't have even paid double. I didn't need it. It was going to be fun. And so I had told him that I'd bought it for 1.5 times retail price. And he's like, man, you Canadians, you're such good people. And I was like, well, the guy's also apparently giving the extra money to a charity. And he's like, what the F?
That's right. Yeah.
So I got to play Demon Souls 3 times this week. I wish I had played it more, but I have been so busy.
It looked good. It looked
It's so
really good. I never played. I've always had an Xbox, so I never played the Demon Souls when you had a PlayStation. And oh man, it looks cool.
It is really good. It was definitely really fun to play it, and I'll still play it more. I just haven't had any time. And then I finished my LED lights this week.
Congratulations!
Yeah, I did it without renting that crazy machine. I wanted to on the Saturday, but the rain was going to come in, and so we did it with a ladder, which was just horrible.
I was just going to say, we didn't want to do the crane in the rain. So I was going to say, safety first.
Well, all of a sudden the
first.
weather turned out nice. All of a sudden, because I didn't want to rent it in the morning. I was like, well, this is going to rain. And then I wake up and I'm like, well, that's sun.
Let's put a ladder on the roof.
Yeah. So we did the ladder, and I did all the soldering and building of them on the ground, and then, transferred it up to the peaks. They're awesome. They turned out really good. So those are all finished. And then I got to start planning my Scion build today. I didn't even think about it. The only thing I did this week was added people, because you were terrible at it.
No, I log in a few times
a day. You did like 8. You did like 8 out of 92.
I'm going to go back in our WhatsApp messages. I bragged about everyone up until a point.
I guarantee you did less than, you didn't get double digits. There's no way.
Totally. I've done at least 16 approvals.
No,
anyway,
I doubt it.
I check every morning, and then a few times throughout the day, I have a reminder set.
I'm going to call you a big fat liar. So most of my week, though, was adding people to the league. And then it's been awesome because we've just been adding more slots because people just keep joining. So I just today started thinking before we started playing as I was waiting for my Quiznos order, I was planning my Scion build. Yeah, so that's basically been my week. But let's get into...
Hang on. I remembered one awesome thing, because you said you were talking about stereotypical Canadian stuff. I watched with my kids. Do you remember the cartoon movie Brother Bear?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh my goodness. So we've had some Bob and Doug McKenzie references that probably only Canadians and maybe some of the older Canadians would recognize. And Bob and Doug McKenzie, were voice actors in that show. There were 2 moose that basically were told to talk exactly like Bob and Doug used to on their old school TV show. And they're like, oh man, it was just perfectly placed nonstop. Oh, hey, get out of here, eh? Oh, hey, you want to play some My
over
Spy,
the top.
eh? Oh my goodness. And they did so well. And I didn't even know they made a Brother Bear 2. They add some female moose into the mix, and they have that real like Eastern Canadian mix where it almost sounds like they're talking about Fargo. They're talking not about Fargo, but like Fargo. Yeah. So, yeah. So then they have, oh man, look at the antlers on that thing, eh? And oh man, I couldn't. Brother Bear was just it was so good to watch it again. It's like a movie from the 90s. But anyway,
we were walking through Marshall's yesterday, and I saw a big mug with a Canadian leaf, and it said Hoser on it. And I was like, oh my God, I almost bought it.
Quit being a hoser, eh?
Yeah, it was so funny because I'm pretty sure somebody called us hosers in one of our reviews, like that we were we were their 2 favorite hosers, which made me laugh.
What a compliment.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I'll take it. Do
you mind if I the rest of the episode? I forgot to portmanteau the rest of the last one, but I'll
all right, let's get into this week in PoE. We'll talk about our week pretty soon because it's mostly going to be about the private league. But this week in PoE, so we had the 3.12.5 patch, lots of fixes, literally almost all of them were bug fixes.
Yeah. Did any stand out to you? I actually, surprisingly, it was a nice short patch, and it was the only one of the week, but I had 4 that actually kind of stood out to me.
Okay, tell me, because I looked at them. They were good, but none of them were like, oh, I've had that happen to me.
Well, the nice thing about when awesome features are added is no matter whether you like how the features function or not, from that point forward, they're always going to be improved. So it was nice to see some stash tab and folder fixes and improvements, not just fixes already, which is nice. I love the wording of this, but I hate the wording of this. Improved performance in the Cyrus Awakener of Worlds encounter. Okay.
It's too vague.
It just said, yeah, improved performance. At first,
Okay,
I thought
cool.
it meant like it fixed some part of the fight, and then they just didn't say which. But then I realized performance meant like stutter or whatever it is. But anyway, that's all they said. It improved the performance of the fight. So I'm like,
Yeah, I'm going to go from a hardware standpoint, not from a like, let's enjoy this fight more.
yeah. I like Purifying Flame, but it's always on cast and damage taken. It's only for the consecrated ground. I never use it as a primary skill or have yet, but they fixed an issue that prevented Purifying Flame from hitting Kitaba or Arakali. I'm like, oh man, now it's okay. You're playing Purifying Flames, your primary one. You're trying to level, you're trying to get past campaign, and it's not even hitting the boss. Something's wrong. So I thought that was just felt bad for those people. I'm glad it's fixed. And then there was fixed an issue which would prevent ballista totems from using fixed an issue which could prevent ballista totems using blink arrow from targeting Kitava or Arakali. And now this one's irrelevant to the bosses. I'm like, because that's pretty creative. That's kind of neat. What would you use? What's the benefit in a build of having ballista totems using blink arrow? That would make it like jump around all the time. Would that aggro the enemy? Is that like a minion thing? Blink arrow. It's like bouncing around.
I have no idea how they find some of these things.
Yeah, but that was kind of cool. See, I'm gonna make a totem build that's loaded with spell totem and lightning warp. It's gonna happen. Yeah, multiple totem support. Oh yeah, it's gonna be puke central. Anyway, those stood out to me. Did you check out the dev interview? They did another one, which was pretty cool. It was the concept artist. And I really want to apologize if they ever hear this, but I have no idea how to pronounce that name. Sing Yi, maybe?
King Yi?
Maybe. And anyway, I love looking at that concept art. I've said it 1,000 times. And so it's kind of neat to have a story from the concept art, just have a little interview there, but see some of the stuff they've done that's not PoE related, and then see some of the stuff that is, right? Like the concept art's very different than what actually makes gameplay. So I like seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the art is awesome. I didn't read the words, but the art was awesome.
Mix and match. Sometimes you read them and I don't.
It depends.
I read them and you don't. It was cool.
The pictures are too cool.
If you have a slower week this week, you should make a note. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through them now. They are really cool.
Very cool. And normally we don't, like, it's people that are following PoE care about the sales, and, you know, they're paying attention to their own sales and their own wish lists. So the point of this isn't that there's a stash tab sale, but it's what they said about the stash tab sale. And a lot of people caught on to it on the remarks on the different platforms. We normally run stash sales every 3 weeks, but this time we've adjusted our schedule to make way for the sale we have planned for next week. What kind of sale would be special enough to push a stash tab?
What could be special enough?
Right.
Like, what would you look? No, I'm asking you. What would be a sale that would come up as that they have? They're like, hey, this is our special sale this week. That you would be like, oh, that's really cool. What would it be?
I don't know, but why couldn't that sale be this weekend, or why couldn't it be the weekend after? And why what makes it so important? Like for me, I don't know. To me, I think in the States, like we have Remembrance Day. I think Veterans Day, like they're not American though, they're from New Zealand, so I don't know if they are concerned about other people's vacation days, but Veterans Day I think is next weekend in the States, so maybe it's something in that regard. Maybe it's not, but I don't know. I can't think of anything that's that time specific. But in terms of, I don't know, I like portals, but that's not time specific for any type of calendar event.
I think Veterans Day is the same as us. I don't know what it might be in New Zealand, but Veterans Remembrance Day, it's all the same. November 11th.
Oh, Thanksgiving.
They do have a Thanksgiving weekend coming up.
That's what I meant. Yes. So no, it's not Veterans. It's because we say Remembrance Day. It's I think it's American Black Friday.
American?
So yeah, it's Black Friday for.
Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe a Black Friday.
So maybe they'll have something different. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
November 26th is
next weekend.
That's their Thanksgiving for the US and Brazil.
Okay. So that makes sense, because that's kind of turned into a global thing. I mean, our Thanksgiving is when
Black Friday is, sure, yeah.
Yeah, but that's turned into retail, as far as I know, quite globally, totally. Especially for us anyway, being our only neighbor. I wonder how many countries can say that, hey, we have one neighbor.
It's kind of funny because up until, man, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, Canada did not give a crap about the Black Friday at all. We didn't do anything. Nothing. If you were in Canada and you wanted to shop on Black Friday, you went down to the US. And then all of a sudden Canada was like, I saw our retailers were like, maybe we should do these sales too, and people will buy from us. So now we actually have, it's funny to have Black Friday sales in Canada. Although I will say people don't go as friggin' crazy as they do in the States where they're piling over each other for a microwave.
Well, I'm sure some circumstances.
No, doesn't happen in Canada.
Of course not. Of course not.
We're way too polite.
I think though it kind of coincided with some whatever strategies were happening with these big conglomerate companies. Though the Super Bowl ads really took off at the same time too, because we're big into the NFL out here as well. Well, you're not, but a lot of people are, and over the CFL. And for you Americans, we have our own Canadian Football League. There's only 3 downs instead of 4. There's an extra 10 yards on the field, and the end zones are 15 yards, not 10. Anyway, maybe it's 20. Woo-hoo. Anyway, there was a huge fight during Super Bowl because Canadian companies would put their own ads over top of the American ads, which were very funny, had a lot of marketing hype to them, very expensive. And Canadian companies would go over them. And then there was a big kerfuffle about having the American commercials on in our Canadian broadcasts. And so anyway, that kind of all coincided. And there was a connection that I do not remember. So
I don't think there was.
No, there was a tie.
So.
Oh, there was. It's just
I don't think it tied in.
Well, no, it doesn't now because I missed the missing link.
Yeah.
I need to dig a little deeper.
I think that link was always missing. But if you can think of it later, I'm sure you'll bring it
after dark, and then I'll bring it up in the next normal
right at the end. That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, next weekend, maybe sort of kind of Black Friday sale.
That makes sense then, that if they would do a sale for Black Friday, I don't think it'll be anything special in the sense of like, I don't know. To me, if you're going to make a post like that, it's going to be like some weird new type of sale. But now that we know that it's Black Friday, it's like, okay, it'll just be.
Everything's $5. You heard it here first. Everything's $5.
Watch, they'll make private leagues cheap for a week. Yes, sons of.
Hey, speaking of, do you remember when Twitch TV used to be called Justin TV?
Yeah.
That's pretty neat, eh? He was named after you, and then one day they changed it.
It was such a, like, okay, I don't even know why you're bringing this up. That's very weird, but I never actually looked into the reason why. I'm just kind of curious, like, how narcissistic are you to be like, my name's Justin, it shall be called Justin TV.
That's
like,
right.
I just don't get, where did the Justin come in?
I don't know.
Or is it just in TV? Like, hey, this is just in. I hate when people say that stupid joke. It's really dumb.
What is it? Oh, no, Alva says it all the time, doesn't she? Oh, just in time.
Yeah, she doesn't say it on purpose. You just change it so it's on purpose.
Yeah, no, I like it. But anyway, yeah, it used to be Justin TV and then it's Twitch TV. And that change happened long before Amazon took them over. I don't remember why I wanted to bring that up either. I really need to start putting my whys.
Put additional notes.
I do need to. So anyway, no, but when I'm broadcasting, I don't want to spend like my whole time like, oh, just hang on, everybody. I'm just typing this in here. Hang on. Because my phone doesn't, you never hit the right buttons. You always bring up 3 apps before you bring up the proper app that you're trying to bring up and this, that, and another thing. So
I think that's just you. How was your PoE week? Should we just get, did you play? Okay.
Yeah, my PoE
Did you
week,
play outside of the league?
Yeah, because the league just started today, the day that we're recording, the 20th. So I had, I think, maybe 2 other sessions of PoE this week. They were good. They're solid. My builds are really coming together. I really like the modifications I've made for possibly 3.13, if no 3.13 changes affect them. But they're solid. I love all 3 of my guides. And so I had 2 good sessions playing all of those builds, which was nice. I even had a for fun session, though playing my guides is fun. I had a for fun session where I was playing as Spin to Win Guardian, doing Cyclone Castle Channeling SRS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. And then I started playing with new skills for the charges build that I have, where I'm just getting every single charge.
Yeah, ugliest tree ever. Yep.
Oh, it's a sexy tree. I should be doing that for the private league. Oh, no, I can't. You have to be a guardian for that. I was trying some new skills for that one. I need skills that hit a lot and frequently because you only have a 10% chance to generate a random charge per hit. And so because it's random, you're not guaranteed to get, you just want to make sure you're hitting a lot. And the old Firestorm was awesome. I do not like the new Firestorm. So I was trying a whole bunch of new cool stuff, and that's fun. I like playing with new skills.
How does it work when you can gain a random charge if you're currently at max charge? Do you know if you could if you could roll one of the three, and I'm currently maxed on my endurance charges, can endurance still be one of those three to roll?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So it could be wasted on something you're already full. Okay.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And so, I mean, it's not technically a waste because you want them max, so it just refreshes their duration. Yeah, you're definitely wanting 6, 6, and 6. So, yeah, it's good. There are a lot of skills that hit quite frequently, though, or have such a huge AoE. So one that I was very surprised with, I've never played with it before. You're going to have to mark this because I forgot to write it down.
I'm not. I'm keeping this whole thing in.
Okay. Well, I'm typing it in then, and I need to look at channeling skills.
In honor of Alex Trebek, I shall play Jeopardy music.
Okay. Divine Ire. Have you ever played with it?
I was really surprised with somebody last week about it.
Oh, really? So it has a huge default AoE that while you're standing still and channeling, it's doing damage to people around you. Unfortunately, only 5 at a time. I don't like those skills where they're a big AoE and it just picks a random 5 people to damage. But then you're holding it and you have a wicked character animation too. I love shields, and you like crouch down. You have your shield right in front of you, all Captain America style. And it's like shaking and it's super cool. And then if you get interrupted, like stunned, or you just let go of the skill, it lets off this huge beam that goes in front of you. But I love the AoE. It's cool. It was really neat. It was one of those where you can jump into the middle of a pack and then start channeling it, and you're automatically at full charges.
This guy was playing it with totems.
Yeah, it'd be so awesome with totems. The AoE would be crazy huge. I've just by being very new with the skill, I found it hard because there's 2 elements to the skill, right? There's the AoE and then there's the beam. The AoE doesn't seem to have, maybe there is very easy ways, but it didn't seem to have any good damage scaling within the skill itself. All the damage scaling was beam oriented, not AoE oriented. But still, it was really cool. It was a lot of fun to play with, for sure. But yeah, so I did a lot of playing throughout the week before the private league, and I was ready to go with the Scion all ready to go. Justin and I, in After Dark, came up with a challenge for each other. And this challenge was, we went on, PoE Ninja, and we looked at hardcore solo self-found classes. Now, that's organized by Ascendancy, but through pretty apathetic math, we determined that the Ranger and the Scion were the 2 lowest used characters for those that made it onto PoE Ninja. So we're like, okay, let's challenge. We have to pick the same we have to pick the same class, not Ascendancy, the same class, and we have to stick with that until we're level 75. And so Justin and I were choosing between the Ranger or the Scion. We chose the Scion, and so we both have to be the Scion until we get to level 75. And it's just a mini challenge between us to see who can get better. Justin's obviously going to lose. And so I've been planning around. I'm still trying to do minions with it. And I already changed on the fly. You'll be impressed with while I was playing. I changed on the fly. I was going to do Cyclone, cast while channeling SRS, and then use zombies with meat shield. And I'd use my bone zombies skill tree, passive tree, because it's really beefy. It has a lot of minion nodes for both health and damage, so the minions never die. And so I was going to do that, so there'd be hopefully a lot of nice defense. And because I was going with Cyclone, which seems to have this innate, you can get stunned way more than normal while you're channeling it. I feel like every time I channel Cyclone, I'm getting stunned way more, as if I was just walking around. So anyway, I was going to be the Juggernaut within the Scion tree, the Ascendant tree, because there's can't get stunned there. But then on the fly, even though I didn't get there, I'm not even finished Act 2, I decided I'm going to go pure physical with skeletons instead.
What made you make the switch?
I when I'm on PC, based on where the counter shows all at the top for all of your minions, whether it's summon phantasms, SRS, whatever it is, it's an inconvenient spot for me. And I find when I'm focusing on my numbers, I I I'm a lot more vulnerable. I'm getting hit. I find that I'm in a lot more desperate situations. But when I play my minion builds where I don't have to care about numbers, I'm doing is caring about my location on the map, where danger is, and I play a lot safer. And SRS is, unless you're doing Cyclone, you're constantly caring about if they're up, right? And so then I'd be doing, okay, well, am I gonna do Unleash, or am I gonna do Spell Echo to make sure that, I move, cast once, move, cast once. Whereas with skeletons, eventually it's casting 3 at once, and your maximum's gonna be 9. So if you have to run around, if you feel like you're kiting around, I don't know, Baron, for example, that's a good kite boss. If you're kiting around for 15 seconds, you don't feel like you're missing out and not doing any damage. Unless, of course, your minions are dead, but they're going to be beefy. So that way I don't have to worry about, oh, shoot, I'm running around because Cyclone's slow, and now I only have one SRS that's hitting Baron. This way, I cast once, move, cast once, move, cast once, move, and my skeletons are lasting for, 30 seconds? So it's nice. And then the auras are a lot easier. I don't have to worry, because before with SRS, I was going to run Hatred, and I was going to give them cold damage and then elemental weakness. Then I'd have to worry about the curse as well, and worrying about elemental equilibrium. So this way, when it's pure physical, it's a lot even easier to gear. So I'm quite excited about it. Obviously going to do some specters, but because I'm not doing Cyclone, I get rid of the defensive aspect of Summon Holy Relic. I love that life regen. It's really nice.
So what level are you at?
Oh, man, I'm crushing it. Level 21 was when I signed off, when my kids got home from school. My wife was nice enough to get the kids for me so I could play that extra half hour. And, it's an easy 21, just, I tell you.
No, I don't know. I watched you on Merveille, and I was like, oh, he's gonna die. He's gonna die.
And it was close. It was
really close.
That was low life within low life. But no, she's one of my, I love that they redid the bosses. When they went through and started redoing all the bosses slowly, and just so good. She's one of my checkpoints. She's one of my checkpoints. I don't even remember the Act 2 boss, but Merveille, she is tough. She's tough for me. I'm always impressed when I can do her, because without dying, because she's very, she does a lot of damage, and she lasts a lot longer now. Dominus is another one of my checkpoints. I don't think he's a tough one. And because, it's early in the game, your resists aren't max. You don't really get to pick and choose all your resists, right? Unless you're doing those vendor gems where you're doing like a quality gem and a ring, it'll give you a lightning resist or ruby or whatever it is. But Dominus is next. And the Piety fight. Not Malachi, but Piety.
Yeah, when she spins.
Yeah, so the one in Act 4, not the one that you see in Act 2 or 3 or whatever it is.
Where she spins and bleeds you like crazy.
Yeah, that one, I don't know if I've ever done that. I've probably done it 100 times without dying, but I don't think I've ever done it without dying. So anyway, level 21 and crushing it.
What's the goal? Are you going to hit 75?
No. Am I gonna
come
hit
on, 75? Come on.
Scion for life. No, I'm my goal is to beat my previous world record of 39. So I think I got 39 in the last league. So my goal is 40. I'm basically going to sign off and not log back in if I hit 40.
I've done it. Complete.
No, you gave our followers a good chance. If I don't die is the threshold, or like, it doesn't matter if I die. If I had to stay alive for that, the rewards threshold, the random 5 people to win a thing that get above me, it'd be level 1 and up. There's no way I'm going to stay alive. So my goal is 40. And then from that time on, I'm just taking off my clothes and I'm streaking. And
you've done it.
That's right. I did. There's nothing else for me. Even though I planned my tree to 91, why would I do that? How about your week? Tell me about your week. I rambled way too long. My apologies.
No, it's fine. I didn't touch PoE until the private league.
Do you want to talk Demon Souls a little bit first, or no? Because that was friggin' awesome, man.
It's really good. Like, I'll get back into PoE in a second, because I'll always talk Demon Souls. But if you haven't played it, it really is too bad that that's the only way to play it. Like the PlayStation Like I'm not a big fan of exclusives anyway. I don't like when I feel like especially if it's a console exclusive, because it's like, oh
Agreed.
come on, freaking PCs can play everything. Man, it's just fun. Demon Souls is so much fun. It's even more fun playing through it now because I actually don't remember it as clearly as I thought I was going to, and I got Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 very confused as I was playing through. I was like, oh right,
Really?
yeah, quite a few
very
times.
different.
They are. It's just that the layouts and the levels and stuff. I was like, oh, that's right. This is not in Dark Souls. This is in Demon Souls. So it's fun. I'm sort of playing casting, kind of not sure. I'm figuring it out as I go. That's the one thing that's nice with that game. But I love that there's no Estus flasks. It's all just consumables. So you can buy as many items as you can afford and can carry, because that's another thing that's different too, is there's actual equip burden. Anyway, that's Demon Souls. It's awesome. The bosses are incredible. I'm going to keep playing it. Okay, so I am going to get back into PoE. So for what we're talking about, just in case anybody doesn't know, is we have our private league that just started today, the 20th. It runs for 10 days.
That would have been good to start with. My apologies.
Yeah, it's the Forever Exiled hardcore solo self-found heist league. Because Tyler and I are really big hardcore solo self-found players.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can still join it. The information is on our Discord under the announcements tab, and join anytime. We'll just add more slots as people want to join. I think we're up to 100 slots right now. I'm sure by the end of today, it's going to be even higher. So the way it's working is the top level alive. Everything in this league is going to be based on you have to be living, but the top level of each class, regardless of ascendancy, will win a $20 PoE points card or whatever. And then we also have 5 lottery giveaways that we're doing. And in order to enter the lottery, you just have to have one living character across any of your characters in the league that is higher level than whatever highest level Tyler can get to, living or dead. So it's one of my favorite things so far has been people cheering on Tyler dying and just waiting for him to die. That's been my favorite part actually so far, is that people, it's not just me anymore. It's sort of like, come on,
it's cheering for me
now
to
it's
die.
everyone wanting you to die. So anyway, the private league information, you can join it anytime you want. Information's in Discord under announcements. It's fun. We use Global 2121 as well. So for anyone who's asking, because I know it's come up quite a few times, join Global 2121. That's the one we're always in, whether it's a private league or just the normal league. If you ever want to just chat, we're in Global 2121. So I hate Scion.
Why?
I hate it. It is, to me, it is the dumbest class in the game.
Why? I think it's amazing.
Because every direction I think I want to go with it, I could do it better as a different class. And so I don't have any interest in the whole like weird hybridness of it. I also, ascending to me is like, until I can do the second one, what's the point? Right now, I'm just going to get some stats and a point, a skill point. That's meh. And then the second one will be good. And then
the third one will be good.
The third one will be meh. And then the fourth one will be good.
No, the third one's your second node, and then the fourth one is your starting point difference.
I just don't like it. And okay, I think I'm level 39 right now. I got to play for a little bit today, and I kind of
you tied my record. Wow.
I beat Dominus. I'm at the point of supposed to go fight that version of Piety in the belly of the beast. And I'm like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to level up a little bit because Calm almost killed me, like leading up to it. And I'm like, I got to get some levels under my belt, maybe some better gear. I just don't like the Scion. It's hard not to feel squishy. I think it is hilarious how many people heard us in After Dark and we're like, all right, I'm going Scion. There should not be as many Scions in this league as there are. I think it's hilarious.
I was looking through and I'm loving that about the leaderboard, that there's such an even spread throughout the classes. Now, we're still at a point where there's not many people have ascended, but the least used class currently is Templar.
Yeah, there's 11 Scions alive right now. Like, what is wrong with you people? That's awesome. It's just not I just don't find it fun. Right. What did I do? I started with Stormblast Mine just because it's just easy to level with Stormblast Mine.
always? Come on. You mean like the last league and a half?
I have leveled with Stormblast Mine for a bit now, just because it's easy. I have switched. Because I don't like the Scion, I'm like, well, I'm going to try things I haven't done before. So I've been playing with Spellslinger. That's actually really cool. I've never played with Spellslinger at all. Nope, never.
It is fun.
Very cool. I've thrown Frenzy onto my wand, and I'm playing around with Ball Lightning because why not? I always go to Ball Lightning as well. That's been a go-to.
Yeah, that one I agree. Yeah,
I don't know what I'm going to go to in the end with it. I haven't quite decided yet. I'm still playing around with it, but I don't like Scion. I think people that like Scion are probably a little weird. Like
disagree.
No, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. Yeah, I think so. Like it's time to reevaluate, you know?
That's right.
I can't get into it. I would rather be playing a ranger, and I don't like the idea of a ranger in hardcore. The Scion is like, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but it's like a confused character. Like they're just not sure. The only thing I will say that's really cool with the Scion is where it starts, being able to just branch off. So I did Merveille and she was cake, but I had 81% cold resist.
Oh, wow. Nice. How'd you get 81?
One of the cold rings, the sapphire ring, I went with the literally right off the bat, straight down from the Scion wheel, which gives you 15 of all of them plus an additional.
But you're not
10.
talking cap. You were at 75, but 81.
Well, yeah, 81 total, 75 cap. But it made it very easy. She was a very easy fight with capped cold resist. But yeah, and then so I got that. I was like, okay, well, I got some resist. I guess I'll start going. I might go Archmage because it's relatively easy to get lots of mana. Like just where you start.
Yep.
I'm not sure yet though. I'm gonna figure it out as I go.
What direction are you going vaguely in the tree? Do you have any like?
No.
You're level 39. You've obviously put points in the tree. Where are you going?
I have.
What do you have? Constitution probably because you're close.
I've got some stuff for damage.
What kind of damage?
Well, I've just been focusing on lightning damage.
So it's lightning, not spell or attack.
Correct. But I don't know if that'll stay like that. I'm not really sure. I have no idea what I'll do if I ascend at all. Like I barely looked at that thing because I hate the Scion wheel. I just don't like it.
Out, man. One of my favorite things about that is that you can you can respec just one node in that ascendancy and it totally changes your build. I love that ascendance. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. I'm going Necromancer, and if I'm sticking with the self-casting skeletons, I'm going Gladiator. And it's so funny. Somebody called it out while I was broadcasting. Oh, so you going Necromancer and Gladiator? Go max block? And I'm like, yeah, is that really common? Because yes, I am.
This is actually what you just said brought something to my mind that made me laugh. Because clearly somebody who was watching you obviously knew you relatively well and was able to call that out. As I was playing today, a lot of people have died, which it's been crazy. There's been a lot of people. And I want to get into that in 1 second. But someone made the comment in Global 2121 after a death. I don't remember exactly how they worded it, but they said, the only person who's loving this right now is Tags. And I read that and I was like, can they see me? Like, how do they know that I'm laughing? Like, I always write like, oh no, but I find it hilarious. I love it. I love when people are dying in a hardcore league. I'm glad it's not me, but I love watching people die. I just think it's
especially in hardcore.
Yeah.
Especially in hardcore. I hope that when everybody's playing, it sucks when you die, but I hope you're playing with a light heart. You know what I mean? Like if somebody went, haha, yes, you died. I hope maybe that's not your humor, but I hope at least you don't take it personally because
I hope it's crushing. I hope it's crushing.
We are very excited for every single death.
Oh, I've been watching the people that die because I'm like, okay, I need some of these Scions to just knock it off. Right. I'm in the first page at least right now, but I did just notice that Hawaiian Ninja, he was an ascendant that was higher than me and he's dead.
Oh, did he die?
Yep, level 43.
Why?
There is currently a level 59 ascendant higher than me, and then a Scion that's ahead of me. But I'm going to catch up. But yeah, man, the deaths have been hilarious. And the thing that's cool is it's so new into the league. So it's not like you've lost out on much to start over.
No. If you have the time, that's right.
Yeah. And you literally, if you can get a character to like level 30, 35 and just leave it alone, you'll be fine. You're in the lottery. Tyler's not going to get that high.
I don't know how I'm gonna have to, it'd be sad if I had to design my entire hardcore experience around Dominus.
Well, when I watched your Merve
like,
fight, I was like, and this guy wants us to go 40% increased health.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
Dude,
I was trying to
Hillock, I almost died as a scion with that stupid spectral throw. Oh my God, it was terrible.
I do not. I don't like that skill personally because of how specific it's for me. I can't do enemy specific clicking, right? So that's why I go a lot with AoEs or minions. But to have enemy like it's not a strike skill, but to have a skill where you have to specifically click on an enemy to fire your skill, and then it's supposed to be a range skill, but I'm out of mana all the time in the first act because the mana flasks just for some reason don't drop for me. And so when I'm out of mana and don't realize it, I'm expecting to be ranged, and all of a sudden I'm walking right up to them because they're going to go do the normal default attack. I'm like, no. That's right. And then not only that, it's a skill where you want to be a specific distance from the enemy to maximize your skill. What's it called? Spectral throw is the skill that we're talking about. And so with spectral throw, when you throw it, your weapon, which is kind of cool, it's your specific weapon. It goes a distance away from you, spins in one spot like a boomerang, but in one spot, and then comes back to you. And so you're always trying to maximize where the enemy is so that when your spectral throw is at its furthest range and it stays in one spot and keeps spinning, you're hitting the enemy.
I've never tried that. I've always just tried to make sure it goes through and comes back through.
Oh, my Hillock fight with spectral throw lasted a long time because I forgot that the spectral weapon comes back to you no matter where you are. And so many times, it missed all the back, the path back. It never hit Hillock.
Were you out of mana? Because I was like, I don't have any more mana.
No, it was the longest Hillock fight I've ever done.
Okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't just
I'm
me.
a slow player, and that was the longest one. I'm like, I have no mana.
Running circles.
Yeah, I'd always expected. Anyway, yeah, it was a long fight. But I saw Dai. He started as a scion, and I was watching him for a bit today, and he just stuck with spectral throw. All of a sudden, I'm seeing like huge two-handers going, and so lesser multiple projectile, I think it was, just destroying maps. And I'm like, oh, I hate that skill.
I've played spectral throw before, but I can't think I would ever yet level with it. I'm not a big fan of it. But God, I think the scion is the worst.
I don't like how to start off, but it's nice. The scion gets a wonderful variety of skills while you're leveling. You can buy so many different skills compared to other classes. I love it. Like no matter what you like to play, you have that option, and that is really fun. Especially if you're one of those players like yourself where you level a completely different way than your end build's going to be. And so there is a lot of advantages there. I'm excited to see what ascendancy you or not ascendancy, but nodes you actually choose in the tree. That means you had to actually go through and read them, consider them.
I'm going to have to, yeah.
Are you going to do your slam build? You still haven't done a slam build like you were saying. Really?
I will do. No, not with a friggin' sign. I'll just hurry up and get it to 75 and then play something fun.
You're such a cotton-headed ninny muggins.
It's true, though. Getting into 75 will be cake.
Oh, please. What did you get? You got to 74 last time, didn't you?
No, I got to 90. In our last one? No, I think I was like 88 or 89. Yes, I was.
Oh, that's so embarrassing. You didn't even hit 90?
Please, 39.
Oh, my goodness.
Please.
I am a guaranteed triple digits whenever I touch the keyboard. So don't you worry about it.
Anyway, if you're interested in joining the private league, hop on our Discord. It's in the announcements section. You can find the link. You can join up there. If for some reason you didn't get in right away, like if the slots are all full, just at one of us in the Discord and we'll make sure we add more slots and get you in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun. I'm having a great time. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it progresses because I'm curious what people do. Like at what point do you go, okay, I'm currently the highest marauder. Should I stop? Because if you die, you're out.
Yeah.
So
they'll probably have a few, the really competitive folk will probably have okay, I'm going to leave it, but I'm going to watch the leaderboard. That's going to stay there. Now I'm going to level this one.
I should just point out, there's very few rules, but make sure you check them out in the Discord. Like you can only win 2 of the class rewards. I can't remember what else, but there's very few, but we just didn't want to make it so somebody could come in and win it all.
And in a couple days, if you've logged into the private league, but you haven't started a character yet, in a couple days, we'll end up deleting the people that have logged in but haven't started a character yet. And then, like, that's not to say you can't play. It's just to make space for people that are going to play right away. And if you want to come back in, it's no problem at all. We'll add the space, but we'll prioritize the space for people that are playing right away in a few days. How's your currency situation in solo self-found? I'm having a rough go.
I was struggling in the beginning because I knew I wanted to buy my skills, so I was going to do Ciosa, which is mostly alterations and chance. I just went and did some heists. They were terrifying, like absolutely. I did not do any even close to my level, not even close. I was like level 30 something doing the level 12 ones, but then I would just sell stuff off or pick. I mean, thankfully, you still get quite a bit of currency still from them. So I actually didn't have any problem buying any of my skills so far. I haven't bought all of them.
So I'll get into this in a sec, but I've been going through every day, just in normal life. Every day I have a reminder on my phone, go through one standard stash tab on PC. All right, so I'm going through and cleaning up one, and I don't know, in a couple months, they'll all be gone and dealt with. And one thing I'm finding, I accidentally, in that process, because I was getting too full and a lot of the stuff was going into the overflow of the currency stash tab. So I started selling some stuff off. And you can still buy stuff even if it's not in your character inventory, if it just pulls from your stash tab, right? So if I'm buying alterations or something, I think you buy alterations with transmute. I forget. Anyway, so I'm going through and I click quite a few times, and I don't think it's that many, but it's definitely more than I had in my character inventory. I go back and I'm actually completely in standard. I'm out of transmutations. I have no transmutations. I can't make anything magic. And so I'm going through now. This
Standard.
was over. Yeah, in standard, right?
That's
I should
awesome.
have 5,000. And so now I'm going through, and it's been over a week now. And I've gone through and I'm vendoring if it's not a unique or if it's not a map. If it doesn't go into a specialty tab, I don't care what it is, just for the sake of peace of mind. I'm vendoring it. I don't care what it is. Fantastic 6 link that's worth 8 exalts, a billion exalts, 100,000 million exalts. I'm vendoring it for Divine Orb. It's been a lot of fun because I'm actually learning a lot about what vendors into what and what kind of mods, like item rarity, you're always going to get alch shards for. Learning which uniques don't give you alch shards. Ugh. Anyway, I'll get to that in a sec, but I'm not getting transmutes. Out of like a week's worth of vendoring, I didn't get a transmute.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get them from rares. You only get
Un-ID'd.
the transmute shards from un-ID'd stuff. But I didn't realize I never noticed. You just vendor and then you put them in. The only way to get transmutations vendor-wise from like the normal day-to-day selling is by selling un-ID'd stuff.
Right.
And that, from a standard perspective, because I'm looking at my 3 transmutes now in standard, and it's bugging me that if I ever went there, I couldn't magic something.
Yeah, it's true.
Like that's like the basics of crafting, getting the magic thing you want. And I'm like, I can't even use my alterations because I can't get it magic. Anyway, so I'm going through in our private league. This is the segue here. I'm going through in our private league, and I'm like, okay, I want these 4 gems from, who's the lady in the beginning?
I know who you're talking about. Oh, I don't remember. What is it?
She's not Elle. She's not Lily. What's her name?
Why are you screwing me up now?
She goes bad. I don't know.
Well, she gets eaten by the crab, or she has sex with the crab or something.
Yeah, she gets married and she's fine to share the crab. Anyway.
It's very awkward.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of weird.
I can't think of her name.
And then there's Silk, who wants to marry the spider. And then she marries the crab king. Anyway.
It's all weird. Anyway, what about her?
I have 1 transmute, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm picking everything up. You know me. I pick up every single scroll.
I know.
I have 1 transmute and I'm like, okay, I have to buy minion damage, but I also want these other 3 skills and I could only buy 1 and nothing else is dropped. I'm desperately picking up everything that's un-ID'd and just intentionally vendoring it without.
I think un-ID'd magics will as well.
A smaller portion, yes, but I'm scraping for transmutes. It's really weird. I've never ever had a desperate need of transmutes until this this league. Just a unique experience, but I thought it was kind of fun.
I find what I do is I do pick up the rares, and if I know for sure like this is a two-hander or this is a base that I'm not going to use, I won't ID it and sell it just so I have transmutes.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense. So yeah, I play slow, but I'm progressing even slower because I am definitely picking everything up just for the sake of currency, just for the sake.
That's awesome. Well, are you? I'm hoping to see you at least die. I want to be online. It's going to be really upsetting if I don't get to watch you die. Or at the very least, I hope someone screenshots the yellow of you dying.
I thought that I was going to get a yellow. I went into the fetid pool. Didn't happen. Some little sneaky snake went in.
I love that I got one before you, and I started like an hour and a half, 2 hours later.
Yeah.
I was so happy.
What did you get again?
The underbelly. It was just one of the heist areas.
Heist. Right. Okay.
And then I got 2 more as I was playing. No big deal.
That's unacceptable. I'm curious if there's going to be a somewhere that I could. I don't know if anybody's delving yet. Maybe I'll go delve.
There are
Tyler is the first person to reach delve level 12.
At this point, you just need to get to level 10 and you'll be the deepest delve. I think you'll get yellow text. It'll be for your death, but you'll get yellow text. You for sure at some point will get yellow text. Guaranteed.
You're a dick. Also, you had an epiphany in After Dark.
I did.
Do you want to share it?
I don't remember.
I thought it was really cool. You don't remember it?
Can you
You
remind
weren't
me?
drinking. You haven't. When was the last time you had a drink in After Dark?
I'm getting better at just like wiping out our conversations as soon as we're done. Practicing. What was my epiphany? Can you remind me? Give me the gist.
You had an epiphany mid-conversation during After Dark about the reason that 313 was going to get pushed back no matter what, cyberpunk or not. Now you preface this by saying this is definitely not going to happen.
Right.
This isn't the reason at all, but I still think it's a cool idea. So this is my prediction, and you heard it here first, Justin, in After Dark episode 55. Do you remember?
Yeah. So I
kind of want you to say it because I actually think it's really cool just to get the gears going, even though I don't think it'll happen.
I don't remember how we were talking about it, but I was like, I think what they're doing is they were going to push this back no matter what. And they're going to surprise everybody with a January release of PoE 2. Now, I did preface that with saying, of course, that's not actually going to happen. But if it happens, you heard it here first.
That's right. That got my gears going. I'm looking and I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, how cool would that be? Like, no wonder they're crazy panicking, right? They plan PoE 2, but then Cyberpunk is coming.
I think that was all planned. They knew that. They knew that they were going to push. They knew they were going to push the league and get people upset. And they were like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to upset them just to completely make their day.
Marketing scheme.
Yep.
You know what? But
it's
wouldn't that be great?
A January release of PoE 2. It's all new.
Well, think about it. They were planning an act per league, maybe per month. They were hoping it was going to come out last year, like maybe possibly the first quarter of 2020, which was this, right? Remember from ExileCon, the original plan pre-worldwide disease or virus. So it's coming up to a year postponement, which might have even happened without COVID. But now we're getting to the point where maybe they're intentionally not talking about it at all.
Oh, it's ready.
Maybe. Yeah. You think so?
And well, let's think of one of their last announcements. Hey, some of Harvest is coming back in PoE 2. That's why they tested it. The crafting is coming back in PoE 2.
Well, yeah, they said it's coming back. They said it's coming back in 313.
The only thing that is, that makes me think differently is I feel like it would be best for them to release PoE 2 in December, like right before Christmas. I think that might be best.
If they did that, though, I don't think any of their employees would have a very magical Christmas.
Not from you, that's for sure.
You ever spent Christmas on a beach? Like where we are, Northern Hemisphere, Christmas is, well, I mean, for us, it's green and rainy, but everywhere else in the Northern Hemisphere, it's white. And
I have suggested every year escaping family. Never happens.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if it was offered one time, I'd be in.
Yeah.
Yep.
No matter the price, no matter
I don't care where it is.
Yep. Sell your PS5, even though you're not done Demon Souls.
I want to finish Demon Souls first.
Because I don't know, I think about it sometimes, like when I used to live down south, or when you have New Zealand talking about their Christmas. It's kind of like, yeah, a beach Christmas. That's it. You're born and raised down there. That's it. That's the thing. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I do like snow. Like, I hate snow in general, but it is cool on Christmas, like, time to have snow, just for like maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes and then bring the rain back.
No, I want the sun back. The sun back for sure.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah. So anyway, PoE 2, January 15th. You heard it here. It's coming.
That's right. I think that would be so awesome. That'd be so awesome. We're gonna have that. That's gonna be our podcast title. PoE 2 January guaranteed. What do you think? I think that's awesome.
No, I don't like it.
So I think it's gonna happen. So as I mentioned, I've been going through. I think I mentioned this a few podcasts ago as well, but I'm in standard. I'm going through once a day, right? On PC, going through one tab at a time. And now, obviously, I don't progress very far on PC with my League characters. I play just with you. And if you and I aren't playing together, I'm typically on standard. And hopefully, on a side note, the new consoles re-enable the ability to stream to your PC, because that would be pretty cool. It'd be very easy for me to stream my Xbox to my PC, and then you and I could still chit chat on Discord. But
stream it to your, hold on, sorry, what? Stream it to your PC?
So right now, the Xbox Ones, not the Series X, the newest ones, but the generation that I have, you can, with the Xbox companion app or whatever it's called on PC, get your Xbox to stream to your PC. So then you can just play your Xbox on your PC if you want to. So it's good for, broadcasting and all that kind of stuff, right? You have all your tools right there. Apparently the new Xbox doesn't let you do it.
I think most people just use like what I'm using for the camera. It's like an Elgato input. You can just HDMI into your computer, and then it becomes a source within your stream.
It's a popular version for sure, but the free version, of course, is just that ability. So anyway, going through, and I don't progress as far in League as I do with all of my other stuff on standard, right? Because as soon as you're done with the League, well, then I'm done on PC and I move to console. So, but I'm seeing some of these stuff that I would normally get on trade that I don't have in standard at all. Some of these like upgraded breach items, stuff like that. So I personally, I hate uniques that don't give elk shards. There's a part of me that really wants to go through each league, every single unique, and see which ones don't give elk shards and remove them from my filter.
When you listen back to this episode, just hear me say that is the stupidest idea you've ever had.
I agree, because
Tyler, when you're listening to this later, I'm speaking to you in the future. Tell yourself to shut up. Go ahead.
Future Tyler says, I agree. I agree. Well, no, but two things about that, which isn't the point I'm trying to make. But with Bitter Dream, I discovered that you can't specifically name a unique. It's only the unique base type. So you can't get rid of a specific unique you want unless you want to get rid of all the uniques of that base type.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't actually value uniques in my filter. They all show up the same because uniques change so much every patch or every league. And that initial patch notes where there's that, list of 50 uniques that have changed, I'm reading that and I can't tell if that's an improvement or, you know what I mean? Because there's so many other factors of all the skill changes and mechanic changes. I'm like,
unless it's one I use all the time, I wouldn't know either.
Right. So, I mean, kudos to Neversink and everyone else that actually reads that and they're like, yeah, you know what? That's going in the book. That's going in the good book. But like, I can't do that. So I just leave them. And it's because I like to vendor them all anyway. The point is that, so I vendored Severed and Sleep. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It's Chayula unique. I got 8 elk shards. I wrote it down. 8 elk shards. 12 alchemy shards, or 8 alteration shards. Okay.
Let's start over. Go ahead. What did you get?
I need a big drink of something alcoholic. I got, well, I'm glad
Tell
you
me.
asked. 8 alteration shards, 12 alchemy shards. That's good right there. I'd be happy with that. 3 splinters of Chayula. I didn't know that some of these uniques, the specific ones to breaches, actually gave you splinters back for that breach type. That was really cool. Since then, I've had quite a few different uniques that I've gotten through trade because I don't trade on standard, right? Which is where I'm normally playing. So that blew my mind. I'm sure everybody else in the world knows that. I didn't. And so I looked at it and I'm like, oh, that's awesome, because I can't get Chayula shards anywhere else anyway. It never rolls for me. I never fight Chayula breaches ever. So I thought that was really cool. Did you know you could get splinters from vendoring?
No.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Did you? Oh, son of a.
It is cool though.
Okay. Did you know this, Justin, aka Tags, that legacy maps trade 1-to-1 instead of 3-to-1? Probably not, because it's legacy.
How would I ever see a legacy?
Do you know what legacy means?
Are we talking about like from past leagues? Or is this standard talk?
Yeah.
I 100% do not know what you're talking about, but that's cool. Whatever you're about to say, awesome.
So normally in a trade league, right? If you're trading this league's maps for different maps, if you have a lot or whatever, you trade 3 of that map and you get a different map. Right. But it's 3-to-1. But if you're trading legacy maps, right? So a previous league's maps to a vendor, it's not 3-to-1. It's 1-to-1. They just give you that version of that map for the current league. Isn't that mind-boggling? That's great. Right, Just? Buddy?
Cool.
Friend? I thought it was awesome. Whatever, man. But there's actually a glitch where right now when you have a unique map, it goes directly to your map stash tab. I can't find a way to put my unique maps into the unique stash tab. It doesn't go there for me.
Why do you want it to go there? Because there's a unique section of the map stash tab.
Right, but because like the unique stash tab is for collectors. There's no point to it, right? Unless you want that unique, there's no reason to keep it unless you're selling it or vendoring it. So that unique stash tab is just for collectors. And so it's the same thing with maps, right? But I can't put my unique maps into the unique stash tab.
You would have to turn off the affinity and then click it
every single time. And so anyway, wrote a bug report and
well, is that a bug though? If I set my affinities for maps to the map tab and I set my affinities for uniques to the unique tab, is that a bug that my unique map is going to the map tab?
The game needs to figure it out, because right now it's only going to the map tab.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's a unique map. What if I want it?
How would you... I got to reach through this screen and punch you in the face. How would you tell it? You'd have to have like an additional option in the unique tab to say, I want maps to go to this tab.
Well, right. So PoE right now has it set that as a precedent, unique maps go to the map tab, not the unique tab.
But you could put it in the unique tab if you didn't have the affinity set for the maps in the map tab.
Not on console. I can't manually pick it up and put it in the unique tab. I guess my point though is there a map section within the unique tab? Is there one of those tabs within the unique tab that's a map? Yeah.
Okay.
But I want my unique maps to go first to the unique stash tab. And then if that's full, put it in the map tab.
I see.
And so the issue is that if I actually want to do that, because it doesn't let me manually drag it with affinities on every time I have to turn affinities off. But the whole point of a unique tab is for collectors, right? It's not for anything specific.
I think we should one time invite somebody who works in the bug report section of GGG to come on the podcast and ask like if your name and picture is somewhere on their wall for just like people to avoid.
Well, then I'm going to have to take another selfie so that they can replace the picture.
Be like, guys, you need my good side.
That's right. Hang on. I have really small muscles, but if you
could just
turn
Photoshop
the camera just like this, they actually, and if I press my bicep against my chest, they look bigger.
I think your name is on a wall.
No, but it is an issue with console because I can't manually drag maps over to the other tab like you can in PC.
It's console.
Whatever. Anyway, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yep.
Okay. And
okay.
Or something that I said was really cool, but it also works really well for unique maps like that. Going back to the trading legacy maps to, oh, you're such a dick.
I'm listening.
You wiped that. You're not listening at all. You're just thinking about how much you want to end this. When you trade 1-to-1, a legacy unique map for the current version map, it has an extended bonus because a lot of the unique maps, their area level has changed over time. And the bonuses you get from the Atlas are only from the new area levels of the unique maps. So pick whatever unique name. I can't remember any of them. Let's say Pillars of Arun, which I absolutely
Your favorite.
hate. Oh, let's say it used to be map level 4, right? So let's say I have 6 of that old unique. I can't run that map and get any Atlas bonuses because the Awakener bonus would be for something like map level 14 with 16 or full Watchstones or whatever. So, but if I trade it in, it automatically gives it to me at the 14. Screw you, man.
Here's my.
I like going through my standards.
I know. My problem is you're talking about console and you're talking about standard. I don't care about either.
No, that's PC. That only the bug was console. It's PC. Anyway,
it's standard though.
So does area level, while we're on the subject,
this is what happens.
Does area level? Yes, I changed the subject so that you just shut your face. Does area level the impact drop rates of currency?
No, I don't think so.
So like a map level 73 versus map level 83 is an exalted orb
exactly the same.
Have a greater chance. It is awesome.
Yep.
Because now you know. We really need a little jingle for and now you know, because I have a lot of those little segments.
That's why you can get an exalt in the very first zone if you're lucky.
I swear they have those drop rates a little bit increased while you're during campaign.
You think so?
I get like 6 exalts per campaign. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap up episode 56. All right. I kind of want to get back to playing the private league. And I kind of want you to play too, so I can watch you die. If you're
when you're done editing, co-stream.
Yeah, you want to co-stream my editing? That'd be fun to watch.
Just put your mug on it.
If you're interested in the private league, make sure you check out our Discord and the information, the announcements, because it'll end on the 30th, so it'll run for 10 days. And it's just there's BK's got one starting on the 28th for her bingo league, so you got time. You definitely got time to get ahead of Tyler. Easy.
Well, you know what? You also have time to get ahead of Justin, because I just refreshed the private league and you are the very bottom of the first page.
But still the first page. Okay.
Easy pickings. Okay. Easy pickings. My level 21 is going to pass your 39 in no time.
You can't. I know. I already know you won't. Anyway, if you want more information about our private league, hop onto Discord, because that's where all the information is and you won't find it anywhere else. This has been episode 56 of Forever Exiled. I am Justin, aka Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days. This has not been a rep digit episode.
Oh my God. Thanks a lot for joining us. You can find our website, foreverexiled.com. We're on Twitter, foreverexiled82. If you are interested in our Patreon and our After Dark episode following the podcast, you can find information down below, as well as the link to our Discord. We will catch Patreons in After Dark and everybody else in 57. Peace.
You know those themes I keep saying I want to do at the beginning of an episode, like 55, I want it to be a portmanteau episode, totally forgot about it. Well, this episode of I totally forgot to do. Remember, I wanted to go like throughout the whole episode, and I did it.
And now you've done it.